This is episode 548. Today we're going to be talking about beating burnout. I've covered this topic before, and especially these days, it's important to review it again. Even though a lot of us may be working from home, there's still this sense of burnout because of the different aspects of working from home or even going to the office with the current conditions. And everyone feels burned out sooner or later. I remember when I was in corporate, even though I would be able to travel, I was making good money, had my customers were great. You just get that feeling of sooner or later it's burnt. You're just burning out, and it's a challenging thing to manage since you feel that you've already done everything you can and completely tapped your resources. That's the interesting thing is that when we start to feel burned out, we look at it as, well, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing what I can, but I'm still feeling burned out. So what do I do next? But it's likely that you can manage what's happening in your life because you can. You are in control of a lot of things that are happening in your life. So we're good at making situations seem more challenging than they really are. We kind of dramatize the events that are happening in our life and using language that escalates that energy. That's why, in my coaching, I help clients use different phrases because our words don't just create or don't just describe, they create. And the situations that we're in, if we use some very volatile and negative words to describe it, that's what we're going to experience. But so the challenges probably aren't as big as we think they are. There are numerous things you can do to help ease your way through the current turmoil if that's what you see it in your life, or it could be just a speed bump or a rumble strip or a hurricane or a tornado or my whole life is going to quit, right? Depend how we describe it. But there are a lot of things that you can do. And so I'm going to go through some techniques. Again, these aren't all encompassing, but these are things that I have found work for me and work for my clients when they start to feel burned out. First one, you'd be amazed. Eat well. It's common to eat garbage and eat crap when you're under stress. I mean, this only serves to make things worse, right? You instead of having a decent breakfast, you go have a donut or a pastry. After dinner or before dinner, you have a couple of drinks, have a beer, have cookies afterwards, and we just because it releases a chemical in our brain that kind of relaxes us, but it actually makes things worse because in the end run, we get overweight, we get ill health and other things. So eating well, maintaining good fuel in your body can tremendously help beating burnout. Sleep. This is really really huge in that we need to get enough sleep. We have to get enough sleep, and stress wears out your mind and body. So give yourself a chance to sleep. 7 to 8 hours each night, but not 14. And there are things that you can do. Right, you turn off any computers and smartphones an hour before you go to bed because the blue light keeps you up. You can have a very cold room to help sleep better. So there are things that you can do to your environment in the bedroom that allow you to sleep. Now, one of the things that I would recommend not doing is having a TV in the bedroom. The bedroom is meant for two things, both begin with S. Not watching TV, because watching TV, like you're conditioning your body to while you're in bed to stay awake. So if you're having problems going to sleep, turn off your cell phones, your computers an hour ahead of time. Watch TV in another room when you go into bed. Make it a ritual. Make it a practice of how you're going to do it. And there are also wonderful, wonderful meditations and hypnosis on YouTube and other places to help put you to sleep. But you will find that when you get a great night's sleep, the burnout just kind of starts to diminish. So, one of the things that we feel about with burnout is that we're trying to control everything, and we get frustrated because we can't control. So, what you have to do is determine what you can control. See, sometimes life is hard and there's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing, except for how you respond. And if you can't do anything about it, what is the value in worrying? yes, it sounds easy. It sounds like, well, yeah, that's easy for you to say, Greg. But when you look at it, there's really only one thing and one thing only you can control, and that is your response or how you think about a situation. Because the TFAR model, right? Thinking leads to feelings, lead to action, leads to results. So how we think about it, and when we know that we can't control everything, but we can control the way we respond to it, then we have this sense of control. And control is one of the C's in mental strength, in the development of mental strength. Not only control, you feel in control of your life, but you feel in control of your emotions. So what you can control, then you control. You can control what you put in your body. You can control what time you go to sleep. You can control what time you wake up. You can control how much exercise you're going to get in a day. You can control how much water you're going to drink. You can control all of these things that take care of you, which help beat burnout. But you can't control the traffic. You can't control your boss or your coworkers. You can't control the weather. You can't control any of it. So there's no sense in getting frustrated or worrying about it if you can't control it. It's just a waste of energy. So identify what's making you feel burned out. And this is really interesting because when I have clients call up in this position, they go, "I just feeling burned out." And I go, "What's making you feel burned out?" And they go, "I don't know." I go, "Well, let's think about it. And is it just one thing, or is it a lifestyle that you simply don't feel you can maintain any longer?" And once we start to articulate and talk about it, identify it, we then have something to manage, right? So if it's feeling burned out because you're working 12 hours every day, what is the impetus behind the 12 hours? Does it feel you have to get something done? There's a whole slew of investigation that can go behind that. Did you take on too much work that you can't control that? Did you agree to a shorter time frame than is realistic? Are you feeling that you're never going to get anything done, so you got to put all your 12 hours in every day? There's a lot, but you have to identify what is it. Is it, when I work with clients, I go, what's the top three things that are contributing to your burnout? And how we get to the three, I go, what's the one that would have the biggest impact on your life? And then we work on that one until that one is resolved and neutralized or changed. And then we go to number two and number three. But you have to identify as opposed to walking around going, "I'm burned out, I'm burned out, I'm burned out." Great. Well, not great, but why? What is that coming from? When you can identify that, you can remove that so the burnout will start to diminish. Stay social. When we start to feel burned out and withdrawal and depressed, we just isolate ourselves. And that's a big, big mistake. In the happiness advantage, there it talks about uh, being social when you're going through a tough time. And that social is not just going out to parties and going out to events. It's just being with your friends, being social. Go to the gym, talk to the people you talk to, go to your place of worship, do whatever you need to do to go out with people, even just go for a walk, go for coffee. This helps beat the burnout. Now, when you go out with these friends and family and whatever, don't complain about the burnout. Go there to enjoy the company. Go there to enjoy all those things. So Sean Akers, again, in The Happiness Advantage, talks about when people get out and be with people, they tend to have a better positive outlook on life. So staying social is absolutely essential. Breathe heavy at least once a day. Now, I know what you're thinking, and that might be one way to breathe heavy, but there are many other ways to breathe heavy, right? Get to the gym, um, do a little walk, just do breathing, do some qigong exercises. See, breath cleanses and it energizes and it detoxifies. And doing great breathing exercises can help so much with the attitude, with the burnout. There's a lot of biochemicals released when you're under stress, and breathing deeply can help remove that stress. There's even some thoughts around shaking. If you I was watching a documentary the other day and it was talking about a lion chasing a gazelle, and if the lion doesn't catch the gazelle will stand around for a few minutes and then shake, 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 and then just lay down and graze. Well, that shaking, processes the cortisol and adrenaline through its system. So if we're really feeling tremendously burned out, we can do kind of a shaking, if you will, but also then breathe deep. Look up qigong. Breathing and meditation go hand in glove. Breathing and yoga go hand in glove. So you're doing your body, your mind, and your spirit all at the same time. Disconnect electronically, right? Unplug. One of the biggest things we get stressed from is because we're constantly accessible by phone, accessible by text, accessible by instant messenger, accessible by so many things. And even though, the TV, the internet, the smartphone, all this is stimulating us with stuff that doesn't really help us. And when we can disconnect electronically, turn the phone off. I mean, think about it. What would happen, let's just say over the weekend, if your phone got run over by a car and the store was closed? You'd be without your phone for a couple of days. Life would go on. Granted, that might add to your stress and burnout, but the point of it is that you would survive. People would find a way to get a hold of you if it was that important. So when you can disconnect, keep the computer closed, turn off the TV, turn off your smartphone, even for an hour every day. It's just so relaxing. So this is where you can turn off all this stuff, do some breathing, go out for a walk, and just start to decompress, and the burnout will start to diminish as well. Um, this is part of making relaxation part of your schedule. You probably plan everything to do, so why not plan your relaxation time? I work with a lot of clients in scheduling these, what Steve Covey calls these big rocks. These big rocks are things that are important for you. And if you don't put, so the thing is, people think they have to find time to relax, and what they really have to do is make time. Find time, you won't find it because your calendar's quote is full already. That's why you're experiencing burnout. But if you make time, you are going to carve apart part of your day for relaxation and disconnecting. And all of these things can be done at the same time, right? Breathing deep, you can disconnect electronically and make part of relaxation. So you can do three things in the same hour, but however you relax. Sensory deprivation tank, right? A float tank, a bath, a shower, go out, just whatever that is, what you like to do, get a massage, right? And relax. And remember your past experiences, right? So when you're starting to feel burned out, you have probably felt similar or the same or worse in the past, and you got over it. You moved through it. So the thing is, when you can look at your strengths and said, I got through something worse, I got through something worse, this is just a tiny rumble strip, you're able to change your perspective and reframe what you're experiencing, which will help give you that mental strength, the emotional strength, the spiritual strength to get through whatever challenges you are facing. So here's the takeaway here is avoid burying your head in the sand when you feel you're burned out. A lot of people will just kind of grin and bear with it, and that's not what you want to do. The current drama in your life won't last. You've successfully dealt with similar things before this, and you'll successfully deal with what you're going through right now. Take good care of your body, take good care of your soul, take good care of your spirit. But taking good care of your body, that's half the battle because of how your body manifests emotions and chemicals in your brain. And focus on the things you can control and let go of the rest. And remember, something great is about to happen. So these are some things that you can work on for the next week until the next podcast or for the next month. If you'd like to get these show notes, you can go over to warriormindcoach.com, look for the podcast and these show notes. And while you're over there, you can request perhaps a discovery call, introductory consultation to see what coaching is like. And while you're on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.